Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Mouth Dancing with your host Young. If you're not wearing any underwear, do your pants become your underwear? It seems like you have to be wearing at least 2 articles of clothing for one of them to be underwear, right? If you're wearing like boxers or briefs or a thong or a half thong and you have no pants on above it, then are those underwear too or not? Because they're not under anything. So if you walked outside with just your underwear on, would that be your regular clothing? Or like when a superhero wears their underwear on the outside of their clothes, are their tights their underwear because they're underneath the clothing that's on top of them? And socks are kind of underwear too, but they don't really have a sort of a risque connotation to them, the way that like the underwear that covers up your genitals and your butt does. Like no one thinks like if you see someone's socks that's really sexy or something. I mean, generally, I guess it depends. Some dudes or some people have like a sort of a foot fetish and maybe they think socks are pretty sexy. But generally, I mean, people don't really feel prudish about showing their socks to people. No one's like really embarrassed if they take their shoes off and people see their socks. But if somehow you see their underwear, like the underwear that's covering their genitals and their butt, then a lot of people might get a little bit embarrassed and say, hey, don't look at my underwear. But I mean, going back to the original point, say like you're going commando, as they say, and you're just wearing your pants and there's no underwear and you're not wearing underwear underneath them. Would that mean you're walking around in your underwear? Or if you're only wearing one article of clothing without an underwear involved, would that mean you're going commando too? Like if you're just wearing your underwear outside? Because you're not wearing underwear underneath your underwear. Just walking outside in your underwear, though, would generally be weird. People would look at you and say, what the hell is that guy doing? Or what is that gal doing? I know they make a big deal of it. Like in New York, sometimes they have this thing called the no pants subway ride. They used to do this. I think they still do it. And like a bunch of people will just gather together and ride the subway in just their underwear. And there have even been massive bike rides where everyone's just riding down the street in their underwear or even naked. I think that's sort of, they're making a statement about, standards and what is acceptable. I think they have a good point too, because you don't even know if someone's wearing underwear or not. If they're wearing their pants or like a skirt or a dress or some shorts. There's a good chance that they're technically walking around in their underwear, but no one, bats an eye at it because you don't know and you just think that's normal to wear pants or shorts as regular clothing. But you can't do the same thing. You can't go commando with underwear and have it be acceptable, which is kind of messed up. Because, I mean, technically that's your clothing if you go outside in just your boxers. Or what if you're wearing whitey-tighties under your boxers? But people would still look at you weird because you're wearing underwear as regular clothing. You might even get in trouble for it in some places like at work or just in a generally sensitive place in society, like, grocery shopping, anywhere, walking around outside where there's lots of people. I don't know why you can't do that. Sometimes some regular clothing itself is kind of naughty looking, if like you wear just tights or really thin sweatpants, they're kind of, they expose a lot of your body, especially if they're really tight or loose and they drape around your genitals and your butt. And you can see a lot of what's going on, and it doesn't leave much to the imagination. But somehow that's okay. But if you were to wear loose-fitting boxers outside, everyone would look at you like you're a sicko. That could become a trend in the future, I think, though, when people are just wearing boxer shorts as their shorts. I bet some people have done that before and they got a lot of heat for it. But I'm sympathetic to what they're trying to do. It would be, if for some reason it would look weirder too if the person was wearing boxer shorts and socks, right? And they're walking around outside like that. For some reason it would look less weird if they were walking around in boxer shorts and no socks. Something about socks when they're visible, like with sandals or shorts and sandals. Yeah, that's when socks become kind of weird. That's when they feel more like underwear. But for some reason, if you see them just peeking out from underneath someone's pants, like maybe they have sort of high-rise pants, or they're wearing a dress or something, it doesn't look that weird. But for some reason, that combination of shorts and socks is a little bit weird sometimes, even if they're wearing shoes. It kind of looks like they're not dressed all the way. Kind of makes their shorts look like underwear somehow. I think you guys know what I mean when I say that. I was thinking that one way we could convert some of these conspiracy theorists, like the people who believe in the flat earth theory, is, when toilet water is flushed in the northern hemisphere, it spins one way, and then when you go to the southern hemisphere, it spins the other way. I bet if you showed that to a flat earth believer, maybe you could convert them into believing the earth is round again. But I don't know, someone who's that far gone, they might still think it's a conspiracy of some kind, like maybe these toilets are rigged somehow so that the water goes down in different directions. And if you believe that there's a all-encompassing conspiracy to make people think the earth is round when it's really flat, then I guess it's not that hard to believe that people would set up toilets to do that just to trick people. Like maybe someone set up some weird mirrors in the toilet somehow or in the bathroom to make the water look like it's going the other way around. Or there's some sort of a mechanism, a vacuum type thing set up in the toilet to make the water spin the other way. But if you believe the earth was flat, wouldn't the water just go straight down without spinning? Because what would cause the water to spin? If the earth is flat and gravity is just sucking everything down, wouldn't the water just go straight down without spinning? So you wouldn't even have to take them to both hemispheres. Just the fact that the water is spinning down the toilet, isn't that proof enough? Or does the water in the toilet bowl shoot out sideways? I think it just comes out straight, doesn't it? I've never really examined the holes carefully enough in my toilet bowl to see what direction they're going. But I imagine they're just set to go straight down. And then the Earth's rotation is what causes it to get sucked down in a whirlpool sort of thing. Or maybe the flat Earth person would think that you could stand on the underside of the Earth and that the water would spin the other way from that side. I'm not sure if their theory covers this aspect of toilets and water. I think I'd like to look into it a little bit. You ever feel grossed out by the word masturbation? Something about the way that word sounds is really gross. Masturbation? Like jerking off or jacking off or whatever the hundreds of different slang terms there are, like beating your meat. Those sound way less gross to me for some reason than the word masturbation. I think it's the way that the sounds are in the word masturbation. Maybe it's because it sounds like you're trying to hide something that's a little bit risque or, I guess, sexual. It's like a scientific word. Like coitus sounds kind of weird too. Or cunnilingus or fellatio. They sound grosser than the normal colloquial terms like blowjob or eating someone out. But masturbation in particular, I think it's the end part that sounds the grossest. Bation. Masturbation. Maybe it's similar to how some people don't like the sound of the word moist. I heard a lot of women don't like that word. Maybe for me that's my trigger word is masturbation. It doesn't trigger me that badly, but when I hear it, it does sound grosser than what it actually is. Does anyone else feel this way? I'd rather, say I got caught spanking my monkey or choking my chicken or flogging my dolphin than tell people or confess to people that I got caught masturbating. Well, the first part of it sounds weird too. Masturbation. I kind of like the idea of calling it self-engagement. I think that's a good alternative term for it. It's still like a euphemism, but it doesn't sound as, like scientific jargon, as if you're trying to hide it or make it sound like some sort of illicit activity. It's something that you're doing for yourself. And instead of engaging with other people, you're engaging with yourself. And also, I just want to clarify, I don't think masturbation is bad or anything like that. I think it's a healthy thing. I think, everyone should do it once in a while. Relieve stress or horniness or whatever. And most people do it, and most people feel comfortable admitting that they do it. But when you say it's masturbation, it makes it sound like something that a lot of people don't really like to do or that they feel ashamed of doing. Maybe these are just my hang-ups with the word and I'm just projecting. Like when you say it's masturbation or when you say that someone's masturbating, it kind of sounds like they're involved in a scientific experiment. The scientists were looking into the effects of masturbation or the causes of it or the way it influences society or how often people do it. It sounds a little bit disconnected from the act itself. All right, well, I think that's it for episode 4 of Mouth Dancing. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, see you later.